Hey everybody, I'm Shannon. I'm Padgett's content and social media strategist, and I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about social media marketing. We're going to cover a few different topics today, starting with why social media is important, some best practices for social media, what Padgett is doing and what we offer for social media strategy, and then our tools that you have available, Sprout, and the Employee Advocacy Program. So first of all, why social media is important, especially as an accounting firm. With billions of users worldwide and 72% of US adults using at least one social network regularly, social media is a very powerful marketing tool. There are a lot of benefits to social media, and like most things, you do get what you put into it, so it's important to be active and engaged online. It is kind of a slow build to success, like many other marketing efforts, not an overnight turnaround, so the more active and engaged you are, the more you encourage the algorithms to boost your content. So some of those benefits of an active social media presence include boosting brand awareness, increasing web traffic, generating leads, and engaging with and converting prospects. And we are going to be focusing on Facebook, and the reason for this is that there are more than 50 million small businesses using Facebook pages to connect with their customers. More than 2/3 of small businesses use social media to market their goods and services, and of those, 86% are primarily using Facebook. So engagement with brands and businesses is over 10 times higher on Facebook than other social platforms, and this is why it's our primary focus for client-facing marketing and a recommendation for where you should start. So now let's look at some of those best practices. So first of all, let's start with updating your business page. Business pages are separate from your personal profile, but you do need a personal account in order to manage them. You should all have business pages set up already. If for some reason you don't, feel free to contact me and we can get that worked out. But since you have a page already, what you would mainly need to focus on is just keeping it up to date. So follow our guidelines for naming your page, setting your username, choosing categories for your page, and then just make sure your bio, location, hours, website, and contact information are up to date so that your clients can find you easily. You just want to make sure that your profile images and header image are also matching our guidelines. We strongly encourage using the Padgett avatars for your page to reinforce brand recognition, especially if you're new to the firm or if you don't have a large following. Once people get to know you and recognize you as a Padgett owner, using a headshot can be useful to showcase your authenticity. If you do choose to use a headshot, make sure it's high quality and professional and following our guidelines. We also have some header images provided for you with and without taglines and with and without people. If you do choose to use a headshot for your profile image, we strongly recommend using the header image with no people so that it doesn't conflict and draw more attention away from your face. So when you're ready to get started with your social media marketing, it's important to determine your goals. There's lots of goals you can set, but 3 common ones include increasing reach, increasing engagement, and increasing lead generation. So when you're first starting out with marketing, increasing reach and brand awareness can be a really good place to start because building your audience creates a foundation for the other goals. And then, of course, the most important part of having a good conversation is knowing who you're talking to. So that's why it's really important to determine who your target audience will be. This may depend on the goals you want to set for your page. So, for example, if your goals include reach, your target audience may be more broad than if your goal is lead generation. So think about who you want to be following your page, what your goals are, and you can use page insights in Facebook, which we have an example of here from the corporate page, to learn more about your existing followers and see if they match what you want for your page. So one really useful way to start growing your audience is to use your personal page for networking. Although business pages can do really well on Facebook, the platform does still prioritize people first. So it's important to make sure your personal page links back to your business page. So some good ways to do that include making sure Padgett is listed in your bio and about and your work section, inviting more people to your network, inviting your friends to like your business page, sharing any post to your business page back to your personal profile, adding a pinned post to the top of your profile so that clients can navigate to your business page if that's what they're looking for. And lastly, if you are wanting to share things only to your friends and family and not let any of those professional connections you might have on your page see it, you can do that by creating some custom lists for your friends. And then, of course, you just want to participate in some general best practices. These are a few simple ways to improve your performance on Facebook or any social platform, really. So first and foremost, keep in mind that Facebook and these other platforms are designed for social interaction. So the more you can interact with other people, pages, and posts, the better you'll do. And it'll help encourage people to interact with your profile, page, and posts as well. So first thing, you want to be posting new content regularly. At least 3 times a week is recommended, ideally up to once a day. You want to like and follow any relevant local pages, especially your clients, Board of Commerce, local organizations, etc. If you're participating in any events that are relevant to you, make sure to reshare those events to your page. And joining Facebook groups as your personal profile and interacting and networking is also a really effective way to market yourself. So we can see an example of that marketing here. These are all comments that we see in Facebook groups fairly often of people asking for accountants, tax preparers, business advice, etc. So it makes it really easy when you don't have to look for potential clients and they're looking for you instead. So these came from one group for local citizens and business owners to kind of talk about what's happening in the community. You might want to look for similar groups in your area. I've also seen questions like these pop up in hobby groups, so do think outside the box and consider groups you can have fun in as well. And when you do feel ready to start making your own content, it is important to keep some trends in mind. These are some of the biggest trends of 2022. We see community building is a big one, again, joining those groups on Facebook. E-commerce has been a big trend, especially since COVID-19. More and more businesses have been using social storefronts. Customer care is really important. Social media is crucial for customer service. Social responsibility. Customers want to support businesses who have similar values. Two of the main ones we've seen show up this year are celebrating diversity and sustainability, which we will get to more in a minute when we talk about Padgett's social strategy as well. Local targeting is also really important. People like to support local businesses. So when you do make posts, adding a geotag, or if you're boosting a post, making sure you use location targeting, those can be really helpful. And lastly, user-generated content is really valuable. Customers like to hear from other customers, so always encourage your clients to share reviews and celebrate their stories online. And while we're considering best practices, I should also warn you against some of the worst. So one of the worst things you could do is called inappropriate newsjacking. So newsjacking is defined as taking advantage of a trending story to promote your brand or business, and it's pretty high risk, high reward. So for example, if you were to use a negative story or respond insensitively, it could be really damaging. An example of this would be Sears advertising generators and mattresses in the middle of a hurricane. People did not like that. Conversely, ignoring the outside world and kind of posting inside a bubble is kind of the opposite, but is also really insensitive. If you were to be posting really happy, positive content in the wake of a serious crisis, it can make you seem ignorant or rude. And last, deleting or ignoring all negative comments on your page. While we don't recommend having your customer service discussions publicly, it's also not a great sign to people to see that you've completely ignored all negative comments. So we suggest that it's best to just respond with a polite comment and move the conversation to a phone call or private message instead. So now let's move on to talking about what Padgett is doing as far as our social media strategy and how this might help you. So first of all, we've divided up our 4 primary Padgett services across the year to kind of create a campaign for each quarter. So Q1, we have a focus on tax. Q2, we have a focus on consulting. Q3, we have a focus on accounting. And Q4, we have a focus on payroll. We've also developed a couple content pillars, and content pillars are just broad themes that allow us to focus our marketing, and they consist of some topics that we've deemed relevant to the industry and the target audience to provide consistent value. So for Pillar 1, we have informational content that aims to be of real utility to clients. Pillar 2 focuses specifically on how Padgett can be of utility to clients. Pillar 3 is a little different and aligns most closely with our advisory service. This content is designed to help clients build successful businesses and lives. And lastly, Pillar 4 focuses on the people behind the Padgett name, and the kind of posts we're able to make have a more national appeal for this, but we strongly recommend making your own posts for this pillar. And one of the best ways to do that is through client success stories. So we've seen that localized content is key to building your reputation as one of the top tax and accounting firms in your community, and these client success stories are often the best and easiest way to do that. As I mentioned, people love to see other people. They like to hear why other clients enjoy working with you. These posts consistently rank among our top performing social media posts. For the oyster bed here, we received a couple thousand impressions, which means how many times people saw the post. And it's very easy. I handle the interview, the writing, gathering the photos, getting release forms signed, and then you end up with a beautiful blog post that you can share on your website and all your social media pages. So we recommend making it part of your process. So whenever you're conducting annual reviews, just ask about their successes for the year and if they would be willing to share on the website and social media. And then all you need to do is send willing clients' contact information to me. So now that we've covered those content pillars, let's see how they work in action. So an example of our informational kind of content is this blog post we published recently about how to build a strong chart of accounts. Our second pillar, that Padgett services pillar, we can see in this social post about reminding people that payroll is more than just checks and deposits. Our advice and encouragement pillar, we can see in our blog post from World Mental Health Day about business owner mental health. And our recognition of people, we can see in this post about National Women's Small Business Month and the recognition of all of these small business clients that we support. And you can kind of see in our example here that we have a mixture of these content pillars and a focus on payroll as it is Q4. So we have some informational content like those blogs about the chart of accounts, seasonal workers, some reminders of the payroll service and what it may include, some advice like that mental health day blog, and so on. So now let's move on to how this might affect you and through these tools that we offer, which are free to you, Sprout and Employee Advocacy. So first of all, I'm going to show you the first option for social media management, which is called Sprout Social. Social is a tool that allows us to manage both our home office social media pages and the social media pages for any franchisees who are connected to the program. As you can see in our calendar here, it gives us the ability to schedule content in advance. So days, weeks, even months in advance, we can schedule posts to make sure that they are going out to your pages on a regular basis. Another thing that's really nice about Sprout Social is that it allows us the option to get more detailed analytics and reporting than just using the regular platforms themselves, like just what Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn provide. So we can see here it gives us the ability to see some more detailed analytics for any of our posts, profiles, tags, etc. We also get things like this that give us a nice kind of overview of things like impressions, engagements, link clicks, and engagement and audience growth across not just the home office social media pages, but any franchise pages that are connected. We do have another tool available, which is Sprout Social's Employee Advocacy tool. And this is the option you will want if you want to have control over your social page and decide what kind of content goes out and when, and write your own captions and things like that. So first of all, when you join the Employee Advocacy tool, this is what your dashboard will look like. So you have access to the same kind of bank of content that we're posting on Sprout, but you have more control over when and how it goes out. What you would need to do in order to be able to use the Employee Advocacy tool is to go and connect to your profiles. So you'd go up here, select view your profile, and from your profile you have the option to connect your social media accounts. So you can connect LinkedIn, Twitter, your personal Facebook page, and your business Facebook page. So then when you're on your dashboard, you can go in and select a story like we have here, and you can go in and you can share that story on any of those social profiles that you have connected. You can also read the entire story if it's a blog before you share. And then when you're ready to share, you have options here provided for you for captions. So you can use the one that we already have provided. You can edit it or write your own. And then you can either post now or you can hit send later and schedule it for another day. So while our social media tools can absolutely take a lot of work off of your plate, it will not be an entirely hands-off project. Especially if you would prefer to use the employee advocacy tool, you will have more personalization, but you'll have more that you need to do on your own. You'll have access to the same content whether you choose Sprout or the employee advocacy tool, but since you're responsible for sharing it in employee advocacy, we can't guarantee how regular your post will be. But again, what we can do is make sure that you have access to that content, and if you're in Sprout, we can make sure that it appears on your pages regularly. We can deliver those reports about profile, post performance, audience demographics, etc. We can ensure your content is on brand and aligns with Padgett's national image. We can provide general guidance and help answer any of your social media and marketing questions. But as a reminder, what you should be doing on your own is keeping your bios, links, business information, etc. up to date, responding to any messages or comments, following up with leads, networking with others, joining those Facebook groups, inviting connections to follow your pages, and creating any localized content specific to your area, sourcing that user-generated content, talking to your clients about success stories, things like that. So when it comes to creating your own content, we've also done some work to make that easier for you as well. So what we have is a selection of social media post templates available for you in the knowledge base, and to edit these, all you need is a free Canva account. So you can open it up and it'll look something like this, and you can change your text, whatever you need to. Just remember not to change our brand colors, fonts, or logos. And if you do choose new photos for these posts, ensure that they follow the brand guidelines. And we do have an image library coming that will help give you some more options to choose from. So our key takeaways and recommended next steps. So those key takeaways. With billions of users, social media can be a very powerful marketing tool for tax and accounting firms. When developing your social media marketing plan, do remember to start by determining your goals, identifying your audience, and leveraging your personal connections. And you should also consider those key social trends, follow those best practices, and avoid common faux pas. And using our free social media management tools, Sprout Social or Employee Advocacy, can ensure that you're posting quality, on-brand content regularly. And for any next steps, be sure to follow up with me if you need any help setting up your Facebook page or your LinkedIn or Twitter pages. Make sure that your page is up to date with those correct information, new branding materials, and remember to make changes if your hours or information change. Refer to the social guide that we have available in the knowledge base for any more information about setting up and maintaining your social media pages, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.